Hello everybody and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. We are nearing the end of the fall season and we have one last bazaar day just to kind of end things off. So I am hoping that I'm going to be able to make a lot of money today because I also have plans to spend a lot of money. I'm gonna go in the barn and just kind of take care of the animals here before we get prepared any further. And we can see that I now have an adult sheep. This is the first day that our sheep has entered into adulthood, which is awesome. That's just one more way for me to make a little bit of money. I'm not going to bother shearing my sheep right now though, however, because I will be processing that wool using one of the windmills. And I'm not too worried about that right now. Plus, it's still a struggle when we talk about our inventory space. So I will worry about shearing my sheep later. Probably when I get back from the bazaar today. And I did the majority of my inventory management off screen, of course, as I do. So I've got a pretty nice selection of items in my bag. I've brought along some seeds. I have a few high value bugs and critters. I also have a couple of sand rows to sell. You can see that I have 4 of them in total. I'm gonna hold on to 2 of them because holding on to them is going to be more profitable for me, obviously, because I can turn these into jewelry, but I am missing some of the ores that I need in order to do that. So I still think it's a good idea just to kind of sell some of those in order to help boost my income in the here and now. The last couple of things I'm going to do as we head off to the bazaar are just kind of finish up some cooking that I didn't get around to. I'm going to start with the steamed mushrooms, and then I'm also going to cook up some pudding by combining my milk and my eggs. And I did a little bit of playing around with this, and as it turns out, pudding doesn't actually sell for a lot more than what milk and eggs will sell for separately. So it's up to you what you want to do. For me, personally, I think making the pudding is a pretty good idea, just because if I'm able to condense my milk and my eggs down, I can make them into a single item rather than having 2 items using up my inventory space. I'm gonna end up with a lot more eggs than milk, so that might be kind of difficult for me, but it also means that I only have to sell 1 item at the bazaar as well, and I can kind of get through my items faster. My overall goal for the bazaar today is to sell all of the perishable items that I have. I would like to get rid of all the stuff that is going to degrade in quality if we leave it for too long. I'm not going to worry too much about things like eggs because I can do other things with them. But I would like to sell my remaining crops, my yams, any food items that I have, and then I'll use everything else that I'm bringing with me just to kind of add in a little bit of variety. And I also have a full field of crops that I'll need to take care of, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I definitely just do not have the time today to take care of all of these crops because they're all ready for me to harvest one last time before the season ends. But fortunately, once those crops are all matured, they can sit and you don't have to worry about them going bad or needing any kind of watering. So I better get over to the bazaar now. I don't think I have any more inventory space, but if I do, I'm gonna pick up any flowers that I see along the way. Just because the season is coming to an end soon, and I'm gonna miss out on some of these flowers that have been really, really helpful in terms of gift giving. Also picked up a couple of mushrooms, can't complain about that. I'll take it. And a coin that I can't pick up, but fortunately those aren't worth a lot of money, so let's just get to selling. I would like to sell as much as I can. You can see here that I have a couple of items that are kind of just sitting here as a single that I'd love to get rid of. The oil that I got as a prize for my bazaar standing, and the herb cheese that we got from the wine festival actually sells for a pretty decent amount of money. I'm gonna put out my yams because I want to sell those. And then I've experimented and played with this a little bit, and it seems to be a good idea to kind of put out some of your seeds nice and early. As much as I want to sell my fresh stuff and I want customers to come and buy all that fresh stuff, if you wait too long to put your seeds out, it really cuts into your profits. So hopefully we'll have some interested parties here going for the yams right away. Love it. Thank you. Love to see that. And also somebody talking to us right away. Maybe we will have lots of company at today's bazaar. That would be nice. Super happy that people went straight for the yams because I have about 120 odd of those suckers to get rid of. Alright, perfect. We've actually already almost sold one entire stack of yams, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that. So I'm very hopeful that if this keeps up, we should be able to put a nice chunk of change in our wallet. And you know what? Sure, you can have these seeds. They're not worth that much money, I guess. It's early in the day. You caught me early in the day when I'm feeling generous. We've already made quite a bit of money in our first hour. I love these nice, busy bazaar days. Especially when I have a lot of stuff to sell. I'm really hoping that I can get rid of a lot of the fresh stuff that I won't have to worry about come winter. I'll just sell it and I don't have to worry about it going bad. And I'm also hoping that by being a little bit more balanced with what I'm selling, I'm kind of being realistic about it, because I want these videos to be helpful for lots of different people who might be watching. Not just the people who are trying to get as rich as possible, as quick as possible, but just casual players who are maybe looking for a little bit of help. If I just sell nothing but seeds, then that might not be helpful if you don't know that you could make seeds, or you don't know how profitable they are. How much help would that be if you came here looking for help and I was selling stuff that you didn't have access to or that you didn't know about? So I am still trying to play the game with a lot of different variety. Doing crop care, looking after animals, because I also don't want to finish this game too quickly. We're not even a year in, and we have an absolute kick-ass farm. But we still have to get married. I mean, there's festivals that we haven't seen. There's a lot that we didn't actually get around to in our first year. And if I make too much progress, I kind of feel like I'll be really, really bored really quickly. So that's just my little spiel on how I'm feeling about things. The seeds are awesome. They're a really great way just to have a little bit of extra income. They certainly help, but I don't want to just rely on them entirely, you know? I want to have options. I want to have variety. And since there's nobody looking at my stall right now, let's go ahead and put out a few more things. I've got to put out my carrots because I like to get rid of them. And carrots are absolutely better sold as the crop. Don't turn them into seeds. They're way better sold as is. They're really, really profitable if you know to buy them from Chen to grow them in fall. And I think enough people have talked to me now that if I don't feel like giving something away for free, it shouldn't hurt my rating too badly, I hope. And I'm sure now that Angelo's here, he's gonna talk to us a couple of times. Although he might not, since I just told him that no, he couldn't just have my stuff for free. So that might hurt me a little bit. I'm actually surprised that he just, like, walked away. I guess it made him angry. That's maybe one of the consequences of telling people no or giving them the wrong answer, at least when it comes to our villagers, because most of our villagers will stick around and buy multiple things or ask us multiple questions. But I guess if we piss them off first thing, they just decide that we're not worth talking to, so I guess that's something to keep in mind. But this kid keeps coming by. I think this is about the third time he's come by. So I think we'll be alright. We've got like 2 more hours-ish of selling. I do want to make sure that I can get out of here and do some shopping, because I do have lots of stuff to buy. Probably won't get rid of all of my yams, but I am really happy with the amount of people who have been buying up my yams. We got rid of some carrots. My inventory is actually getting pretty cleaned out now, and the majority of this is just gravy. It's just additional stuff that I would love to get rid of. I'm gonna put these sand roses out now, just in case it takes a little while for someone to come by and purchase them, because that will really help give me a little boost to my overall income. I also walked into the bazaar with about $30,000 in my pocket, so I'm gonna have lots of money at the end of the day to buy stuff. 75,000. I think we can do a little bit better. I'm hoping that we can get a couple of more things sold here. We've had a few busy moments with some big crowds of people, but it's kind of thinned out now. I'm keeping my flowers, but I've brought them with me so that I can gift wrap them. So the only things really that I want to sell now are what I have on the counter, and then I'll just be filling in the holes otherwise. So I'm pretty happy with what I've sold today. This lady's also going to pay double for that item, which is wonderful. If I can get rid of those carrots, I will be very, very happy. I don't want to risk them starting to turn not so fresh. I want to get the max amount of money. Alright. We're very, very close to the end here. I kind of only want to sell for a little bit longer. I still have 7 carrots to get rid of, which is kind of a pain. Not the end of the world. There's not really a lot that I can do with carrots. Like, there's not really a lot of things to do in terms of cooking with them or anything like that. So it would be nice to just get rid of them. But at this point, it's looking like I'm gonna be stuck taking a few things home with me. I mean, I guess the trade-off was that I got rid of a lot of yams. So I'm probably gonna just have to be happy with what I've sold here and take a couple of things home with me, just because I am gonna run out of time to do some shopping. Not the end of the world. I have a few things that I'll need to keep fresh, fingers crossed, until our next bazaar, but we did pretty well today. I'm pretty happy with that overall. So now we're gonna have to just really rush around and buy what it is that I want to buy with our last half an hour. First thing on my list is an olive tree seed. I'm mostly doing this now just so that I don't forget. I'm gonna buy this from Sherry and stick it in storage. Thank you very much, Sherry. Moving on up to the animal shop. I'm thinking of getting some pets sometime soon, but I currently don't meet the requirements to get any of the pets, and so I want to slowly work towards that. You might want to prioritize getting a dog because in year 1 we have the dog festival coming up in a couple of weeks in wintertime. But you can also get a cat. So in order to get a cat, you need to have 4 chickens in your barn. They don't have to be adults, so you can have 4 babies. You just have to have 4 chickens. And in order to get a dog, you have to have 4 larger barn animals, a combination of cows and sheep. Doesn't matter how many of each that you just have to have 4 in total. So I have already played ahead, and I made the decision just to buy 1 chicken. I wasn't too worried about a dog, and I didn't really think much about skipping the dog festival in the wintertime, but we will miss out until next year. So what I'm going to do is carry on with my plans to get a cat first by purchasing just the chicken, but I will end up showcasing the dog festival by purchasing some barn animals separately and sort of having my own save state dedicated to skipping to the dog festival to show that off, just so that we don't miss it. From Felix, I'm going to purchase the bell because I keep forgetting, and we still have some tools that are locked behind the purchase of the bell. I'm gonna zip on over to Wilbur's, and I'm going to buy some more storage because it's still pretty cheap and I love storage. So thank you very much. Please give me more inventory space. And finally, at Lloyd's, he has some silver for sale, and it might seem like a waste of money to buy silver, seeing as how this is very, very costly, but it is the last ore that I'm missing in order to make some jewelry. So spending $12,000 on a piece of silver will net me about $30,000 in profits if I use this silver to make some jewelry. I have gold, I have bronze, and I have some gems. So I have everything else that I need. I am going to spend the money on 2 pieces of silver, and I'm also going to buy some mithril and some orichalcum. Winter is the perfect opportunity to upgrade your tools. If you are a little bit behind on that, or you want to start doing that, or you want a good time to do it, winter's perfect. So you can buy ore whenever you can afford it. You can buy it now, at the next bazaar, whenever it is that you have the money. Winter is very much going to be a free-for-all. It's basically just going to be buying whatever it is that we want, because there's not really anything at this point that we really desperately need, which is kind of a nice position to be in, to have a little bit of freedom with our money. And then, just for fun, because I'm here and because it's available, I am going to gift wrap some of these flowers that I brought with me to help me with my gift giving. So I'm gonna wrap up my red flower for Freya, and I'll wrap up my blue flowers for Antoinette. And I've only got a couple minutes before the bazaar ends anyways, so it's good timing. We're cutting it kind of close, but I got everything that I wanted. I'm gonna head out, and we will wait for our bazaar results. Unfortunately, there's nothing for me to pick up because there's too much time that has passed, so I've probably missed an opportunity or two to pick up some flowers, but I still have tomorrow, fingers crossed. Hopefully I can pick up some last minute flowers before the season changes, because there's not going to be a lot for us in wintertime. I will deal with my crops tomorrow. I am going to do another video on the last day of fall here that will cover the pumpkin festival and month end stuff. But I'm gonna save that for next time because these bazaar videos are always pretty long. It's a long day and we still have to hear how we did. So no doubt we got the #1 spot. $83,000 in second place though, that's pretty close. To us, it's not too shabby. We are still on top, however. So I'm pretty jazzed about that. Please tell me some tips from your success. Maybe if you share your seeds with me, I will. And we also had the happiest customers. Even though I hurt Angelo's feelings, everything still turned out okay. Wonderful. We get a lavender tea can for our efforts. That's just something else to put into storage to sell. Our goal remains the same for next time. And that is it for another week. So I will be back just to talk a little bit more about some of the things going on today as we finish up with the fall season once and for all. Thank thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.